Welcome to Networking RX, a podcast devoted to helping business professionals like you enhance your networking skills in order to become more proficient giving and receiving quality business referrals and improving the overall quality of your life and the lives of those around you. The Networking RX podcast is a production of AmSpirit Business Connections, an organization whose mission is to empower business success through networking.
I remember years ago, I had a franchisee. He was my third franchisee. It's funny how you kind of remember these things. He was referred by my second, who was down in Phoenix. But anyhow, he came to town. He bought a franchise, came to town to be trained. And there wasn't there's really not a lot to AmSpirit Business Connections. There just isn't. I'm sure you go to McDonald's, you have to learn a million things about McDonald's, and so they send you off to school for eons. But there's not a ton with AmSpirit. You go to meetings, go to chapter meetings, you learn about it and whatnot. So he was going to be here for 3 days, and probably day 1.5, we're kind of looking at each other. Okay, anything else we're going to talk about now is going to happen 2 years from now. So I just put him in a conference room, and I went to my office, and we we're just both going to kind of do work. And at one point he came in, and he had his laptop, and he said, "I want to show you this." And he showed me Simon Sinek's not YouTube, his TED Talk, Start With Why. And it's just like, it's one of those moments where you feel little hairs on the back of your neck stand up. And it's like, oh man, that just makes so much sense. And really Simon just kind of explained, we experience these things forever, but all of a sudden somebody kind of put it, here's what happened when you fall in love, kind of an explanation. Here's the psychology, everything behind it. Here's what's happened when you discover purpose and why purpose really matters. And when I wrote the book Foundational Networking, I talked about purpose. I talked about people's purpose, and we are attracted to people who have a sense of purpose, who have I call it their greatest day is yet to come. That's their mentality. So at any rate, back in November, I had the opportunity to go speak at a conference in north of Pittsburgh, Harmony, PA, and was going out to dinner with Michelle Murder, who was putting it on. And she's actually married. She's got a longer last name now. I won't even try it. But went out to dinner with her and her husband, her new husband, and they had this other young woman with them. And she looked so familiar. Anyhow, it was Carolyn Cooper, and I had met Carolyn before. Carolyn's involved with the Grand Connection, founder of the Grand Connection, and we just had a great, it's like all of a sudden, somebody I had talked to just for a second, and known about. I'm in the same room with them at the same restaurant. We had a great conversation. So through some coaxing, I got Carolyn to come on here today. And I do mean coaxing, Carolyn. I do mean, I felt like I was asking somebody to prom like 6 times. Hey, are you going to do this? Are you going to do this?
Yeah.
Just tell me no. If it's no, that's fine. But Carolyn is all about purpose and igniting people's purpose, and showing how that can turn to profit. So,
True.
Welcome.
Thank you. And Frank, yes, you were persistent. I just need to say here. And that's what it takes, honestly, in networking. And if you have an intention and an interest, I'm honored to be here today, too, is what I want to say, Frank. And I truly, from a distance, you could say that we are competitors. We're not.
No.
With the Grand Connection and, your community. And I've always just really respected the way that you show up with your leadership and your clarity in what it is that you stand for in AmSpirit. And you're growing dramatically. And I just really congratulate you for that.
Thank you. Well, in your defense, I think we all get stuck. Well, we do get stuck in our own little egocentric world, because when I left Pittsburgh, north of Pittsburgh, I got in the car and I had a 3-hour drive home, and I'm thinking, okay, I really want to interview this person. I had mentioned it to you, and I'm going to get back. I'm going to invite her. Now, your perspective is you had like a 36-hour journey back to British Columbia that I wasn't aware of, so for you, for me, it's like I'm home. Why won't she return my call, uh,
Exactly.
because you're probably in an airport somewhere. So
Well,
anyhow,
I was in many airports, and I think I had 5 different connections to get back to Victoria, British Columbia, Canada.
yeah,
And right, exactly. So for sure.
yeah. So purpose,
Yeah.
talk to me about purpose.
Oh.
How'd
Mm.
you stumble into this? You have
Well,
quite a corporate background, I
I
guess.
do. And I came from being very successful for decades in sales, doing corporate training. And, I found myself, my personality type is if I'm not learning and growing and I'm bored, I'm out.
Yeah.
So for me, I kept looking for my purpose. So where is it? No, this isn't it. No, this isn't it. So how do I discover my purpose? So I just went on a mission to find purpose as an entrepreneur. And, you go down the rabbit hole, right? Many books. And then I came across Simon Sinek, the book
Yeah.
mentioned earlier. And, I definitely got the spiny sense that this is the truth. So then I became super vigilant into seeing the other aspects besides what Simon had to say, and really look at. I was doing business development coaching, keynote speaking, speaking at conferences and masterminds at that time too. And so I just thought, how can I figure this out? So I came across core values work, and that just lit my soul on fire. So when we look at the things that matter most in which we serve our ideal clients or our communities, it's the center of our core values. And to be extremely curious on what they mean to me, which is what I did. And for you, that's what I invite you to do. And I have a free core values sheet. If you want me to send it to you, I can easily do that. But it's to just have this curiosity on the top. I recommend to keep it simple to secure your success. The top 3 core values that you stand for that really truly make you stand out in your industry, as well as the value that you present and represent. So that's number 1. Number 2 is take that curiosity and wonder into the clients you serve. What are their core values? What is it that matters most to them in running their businesses, in standing out in their industry? And there really has to be an alignment.
Yeah.
And that's when you have what I call magic. That's when it's a song, when you can share those same core values and then become innovative and creative on how you can expand those core values as far as providing the utmost highest level of service. The last piece that I really think is important is we need to know the reason we're going to stretch, the reason we're going to change. Because, being an entrepreneur and passionate and networking and standing out in your industry online or in person, whatever you're doing, we have to grow and we have to change. So what are those things within your business that you can expand on? And it's going to take a level of transformation or change within yourself, and to invest that time, invest that energy, and invest in yourself to really expand, because that's where I think the why, the reason, the purpose is the juice. I mean, I stay inspired. That's my business, the Inspired Connection. I better be inspired. Holy moly. That's my job. Yet, I just feel this strong element towards understanding what I really appreciate in how I serve and continue to grow as personally and professionally, because I don't get bored ever anymore. Ever, ever, ever. So those people out there that are getting bored, it's an opportunity to look within. I always say you have to look within to win.
Yeah.
So look at that expansion and opportunity to change, evolve, and grow. I know you lead this way too, Frank.
Well, I mean, I appreciate that. As you were talking, I was kind of thinking, I mean, everything you're saying makes sense, and it is the answer. I mean, it's truly the answer. And I can only speak for the United States educational system. You're in Canada. I'm sure they're not terribly different, but our educational systems are not designed to, they're designed to go get a job and be successful. And I started my career as a tax consultant. There is nothing purposeful or noble about it. Well, I shouldn't say that. Maybe there are some people who really feel like they're, but for me, it wasn't. And, you can burn out quickly working long hours. I love what I do now. I love helping people network and get referrals. I'll work on Christmas Day. I don't care, right? Because it doesn't feel like work.
No.
When are you going to retire? I don't really, when I fall over and die.
When you take your last breath, Frank.
Yeah, when I take my last breath, I'll be at the office just kind of clutching at my heart.
Exactly.
Hopefully 40 years from now, right?
Exactly.
And I got to get one more email out because this person needs it.
Exactly.
But there's just, there are so many people that just, for a lot of people, this is woo woo talk, right? It's like, oh, come on, really? And it's almost like falling in love. Until you experience it,
you just don't know.
Yeah, you just don't know.
And what you don't know, you don't even know that you don't know it. And
Yeah.
I love that expression because, the truth is the truth. And so I have the aim high, activate your inspired mindset. I have the 6-step aim high system. The first step, where I start with everybody, no matter what, is to tell yourself the truth. So what's working in your business and what isn't?
Yeah.
So, and you have to start there, but what isn't working, I say, to let go, to lead, hire someone, let it go, dump it, delegate it, whatever. But I think we're meant truly to have joy, to be on that path of joy within our business, because people are attracted to people who have purpose. They have a passion, as you mentioned earlier, but they actually have clarity and understand the value that they represent and stand for. And it's easier for people to make a decision when that clarity is there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, I stumbled in it, right? I mean, it wasn't like I didn't know you. This goes back 30 years. And I thank God every day. I'm not trying to get religious here, but it was a wonderful little epiphany, or what, not epiphany, but just a wonderful little happenstance that I fell into, something that I truly am good at and truly like doing and truly people need. Now, would I like to make more money? I think everybody would. And I'm not crying poverty at all. But I don't know. It's almost like, and I don't know, I don't know the various types of people listening. I don't know the stories of the people listening. I know people who do listen. I don't know their stories. And when I say I don't know their stories, I don't know what's in their heart, right? I was a tax consultant. People could say, wow, that's a great job, but in my heart, it wasn't. And I have friends who were there and they're still doing taxes, and maybe that is their heart, but it wasn't mine.
Yeah. And you got to find your heart in your business. So behind me on my screen, it's all about love, because that's what matters.
Yeah.
And there's so many people in business that are so caught up in their head, Frank, that they don't travel the 18 inches down to their heart. They just don't. And I'm inviting people to be curious about what it is that you really appreciate. And I give people an exercise. On the left-hand side of the page, write down everything you love about your business, appreciate, are grateful for. And that's your love it list. On the right-hand side of the page, draw a line down the middle. On the right-hand side, write down what frustrates you, what drains you, what absolutely is something where you go down that rabbit hole and you don't even accomplish anything in 4 or 6 hours, and then you're frustrated. Start writing those things down. And those are the things that I call your let go list. I did this personally, changed my life years and years ago. So it's a matter of being all in with your business. And this includes networking. I mean, I know that we want to focus on networking. I think networking is part of something that can be on the left-hand side of that list.
Yeah.
Because being an entrepreneur is building meaningful, trusted, integrous relationships. And that means showing up to be a contributor.
Yeah.
That means giving rather than taking in that moment. And I know you stand by this, so do I. I mean, the Grand Connection, you know about, we started at COVID, and, you know, I mean, the main reason that we have grown as much as we have is because it's a very giving community. So the truth is, what you give is absolutely the only thing you get to keep.
Yeah. Well, you know, I look at this as relating to networking even before you connect with anybody else, because when I was that tax consultant, and the tax season in the United States is January, February, March, April. You didn't get a day off for probably 2 or 3 months, and the holidays were horrible. I didn't want to see anybody. I was a bear to be around. And my wife says, if you'd have stayed with that job, we would be divorced, which is, you know, is a chilling thought. Maybe she means it in jest, maybe not. But to be successful at networking, you've got to have the right presence about you. And having the right presence is feeling like you're happy, you're fulfilled. You know, you and I, before we hit record, you talked about gratitude, that you're grateful for things. And when you're not, it's, you can't show up in the right frame of mind.
Well, and to me, Frank, honestly, energy is everything. And when you're networking, a lot of us are networking on Zoom. In person we got to meet in person. I know how you feel about in-person meetings. It's just so much, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
The truth is, it's how we show up. It's our intention. That's why I always very passionate about intentional networking, which is what you specialize in. And your gift, I think, is supporting people to have a different perspective about networking. And, you know, we need to show up and connect with people intentionally.
Yeah.
So it's not just showing up and being closed or having your camera off or sitting back and judging or anything like that. It's showing up and connecting and being curious and having an open mind and seeing how we can support other people too.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. Let's shift gears here. I want to talk about you. I want to talk about your business. I want to talk how people can get to know you, get to sample you, if you will. And I'm just going to share. Back in January, I went through your 3-day business breakthrough challenge, and you did in January, you did in February. We are recording here. It's February 11th. This won't come out until probably May. I assume you're going to continue to do it. But I'll say this, and I won't put the price in. It's very inexpensive. It's, you know, and I you know what, I realize there's more to you than that inexpensive offering. And really what you're doing is allowing people to kind of see what you're about. And many people then will say, I need more. I need to work one-on-one with you. And, But what I would invite people to do is to look into this 3-day business breakthrough challenge, commit the hour a day for 3 days, and really kind of get a sense, especially if you're that entrepreneur that's kind of burning out, or maybe a career professional that's kind of burning out. Because I think a lot of what kept me from making the leap was money, right? That's what holds a lot of people back. Until that pain in your life, yeah, I don't know.
It gets bigger.
Well, it does. It does.
The pain grows, and and there it is again. It's like making that decision to change.
Yeah. Well, it's a cost benefit analysis, and it's not all about money, right? It's okay, I'm going to have a better life.
Yeah.
I may not have as much money, and people need to, for me, it was just stopping and sitting down and saying, you know what, I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to be able to work more and longer if I really enjoy what I'm doing. And a lot of big firms, like where I was at, there's mandatory retirement at 62.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 63. I have no interest in stopping.
Great.
So, but anyhow, I talked about the 3-day business breakthrough challenge. What other things do you have?
I am very passionate about mastermind groups. I've been leading them for over 3 decades. I take people on a journey of 5 months, and we navigate through my 6-step aim high system. And that is truth is the first one. I mentioned that earlier. That's where we start, because that's the foundation. The second one is trust, because we need, in order to be confident, focused with our energy, we need to trust ourselves, and we need to stretch outside of that comfort zone. So we build on trust. The next one is value. Oh my goodness. I mean, there's so many entrepreneurs out there that I meet, and as you are too, Frank, I am a connector. So people want to connect with me, yet they are not clear on the value that they stand for, or how they represent value for their clients to be attracted to work with them. So we do a lot of exercises. I have many tools and templates. And then the next one is vision. Without a vision, you don't even know where you're going. It's absolutely mandatory to have a vision. And what I invite people to do is choose a word for the year or a phrase for the year. So my phrase in 2025 is fuel the fire of desire. So other years I've had let go to lead, simplify to secure success. So we need to ground ourselves in that energy of conviction and a vision. So that's the next one. And focused energy, if we're not present, we can't connect with people. So it truly is to accomplish, have focused energy. So that's what we work through. And the last one is flying to the finish line, which is results speak loudest. So how can we celebrate together once we reach those milestones, those goals? So I love masterminds, Frank, and I start a new group usually once every 3 months, and they transition over. And I have maximum 12 people in each mastermind, and it's a very efficient, effective way for people to get that plan, get that strategy, get it in place, and commit, and personally grow as well as professionally grow, and build their confidence, their clarity, and their conviction. I mean, that's what happens. The transformation is inspiring for me to witness. The other way that I work with clients is one-on-one. So I still have executive coaching clients that I serve. And, I'm flexible always, whatever works for people. So some clients I've had for 5 years, and So we just keep navigating the next step and the next step because they grow and evolve and things are always changing. So I just feel honored to serve people that way. And the final way that I share what I'm about is speaking. I just did a talk this morning at 5 a.m. on Zoom to a group, and I love sharing what I'm passionate about. And I truly know that that's part of my calling and that I am meant to contribute that to entrepreneurs and inspire them.
Let's go back to your mastermind real quick. As I indicated, the 3-day business breakthrough challenge was an hour a day. The mastermind, is that a weekly or is that a monthly?
So the mastermind, we meet once every 2 weeks, and
Okay.
they meet in their accountability pods the
Okay.
weeks in between. The accountability pods are fabulous. I intentionally put specific people with other people in
Okay.
regards to strengths, limitations, and yes. So that's
Okay. Good information. Good
Mhm.
information. Best way to get a hold of you?
The best way to get a hold of me, you can visit my website at www.theinspiredconnection.ca. You can send me an email, Carolyn, Carolyn, at theinspiredconnection.ca, or come on my LinkedIn profile. I'm there, and Facebook, and every Monday I do an interview called The Purpose to Profit Rainmaker. So I interview entrepreneurs about their purpose and how they've translated that from their purpose and passion into profits. It's very inspiring and intriguing, and I think they have a lot of really compelling messages as well. So every Monday, 1:30 p.m. Pacific time, that is available to see.
Sounds great. I really appreciate your time today. I'm glad I finally got you.
I'm glad to. Thanks, Frank.
Thanks for joining us on the Networking RX podcast. Please put what you've learned into action today and let us know if you have questions, comments, or ideas for future topics. You can email them to us at podcast@amspirit.com. That's AmSpirit.com. Finally, so you never miss an episode, be sure to subscribe to the Networking RX podcast through iTunes, Overcast, or however you receive your podcasts. Now get out and network with someone.
The Networking RX podcast is the copyright production of AmSpirit Business Connection. All rights reserved.